It's not me that they're talking about. It's some caricature they've had to create to get clicks.
Stop lying to us. Stop getting on your freaking laptop at 2 in the morning, typing out this garbage. And how many times did she say narrative in that thing to Jack Royston? I don't know. It's so completely ridiculous. Hey, you guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jennifer, so happy to have you with me. I hope you had a wonderful and relaxing Christmas and New Year's. We're having a really nice, slow intro to 2026 here in Germany. It's snowing where we are. It's so white and pretty. My family's really enjoying that snow. My kids, they're on their last week of Christmas break. They're still on Christmas break. I was telling them today, I was like, I hope you understand how awesome it is that you get 3 weeks off at Christmas. I got 2 weeks off at Christmas. But then again, they're off later here in Germany. I know in the US, most kids are out by mid to end of May, whereas here it's like the end of June. So I guess it all evens out, but whatever. They're loving it. They're loving it, which is why I haven't really been filming as much lately because I've just, been wanting to hang out with them. And I mean, honestly, it's a little harder to film with two 12-year-olds in the house, especially when they're playing Minecraft or Roblox and they're like screaming and yelling in the next room. And I'm like, I can't film. But anywho, I'm kind of annoyed. I'm really annoyed right now, you guys. Coming into 2026, I was just praying and hoping that Meghan Markle would just really just take a pause, take a deep breath. I'm sure she was holed up wherever she was in Montecito with her wine and her computer. And I'm sure she was watching and reading everything that everyone was saying about her disastrous 2025. And you know what? Rightly so. It was a disastrous 2025. She lied a lot. She gaslit us all continuously over the year. I mean, it was just thing after it was piling on and piling on. I'm still right now in the process of editing volume 3 and 4 of her disastrous 2025. And I've already put out volumes 1 and 2. I'll link it somewhere around here or in the description. You guys really are liking those videos. What I'm basically doing is I'm just compiling all of my, what I think anyway, is my best commentary of all the crap that went down in 2025 concerning those two bozos. And I'm just doing these compilation videos and I'm putting in, music and memes and you guys are loving it. A lot of you guys are like, I love the music. I love the memes. It's funny.
Oh, really? That feels odd to me.
Yeah, how do you respond to that?
That feels odd to me. I mean, I hadn't heard that.
So I'm having a good time, but those videos take time. They take, effort. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to chill. Hopefully this woman will lay low. Hopefully she will just chill out and just stop gaslighting us. But no, I mean, we're not even a week into 2026, y'all, and it's starting up again. It's starting up again. And I was so stinking annoyed. Because I had to grocery shop today and I was like, I don't want to turn on the camera and film because I wanted to edit my other video. But then again, I do want to film because I want to talk to you guys about how annoyed I am because I'm sure you're annoyed too. Okay, so anyway, I'm sure you know what's going on, right? So these internet sleuths on Reddit, and I have their names down here because I want to give them credit. So Infinite Sky 55 and Kiki Love 777, and this was revealed on the Reddit blog Saint Meghan Markle. If you haven't gone to that blog on Reddit, do yourself a flavor, okay? Get a tasty bev, curl up on the couch or in bed, and just this blog is just it's insane. It's very good. It is quite a gem in the things that they reveal. This gal, she's really good. Well, I don't know if it's a girl, but they're really good. Yeah, Infinite Sky 55 and Kiki Love 777. We know what happened. These internet sleuths went on Meghan's As Ever website and they put in crazy amounts of orders in the order field. And then when they did that, the website had a glitch that inadvertently showed how much they had in stock of that particular item. So these people, these users were going in and I don't know what it was like over 200,000 units of certain things. And the website was popping up and telling them what they had in stock left. And it was crazy. And everyone's been doing the math and it's been estimated that it's over 21.5. Oh no, sorry, even worse than that. 21.8 million in unsold stock on Meghan's website. We're talking over 90% 100,000 unsold candles, over 77,000 bottles of unsold wine, over 200,000 jars of spread that haven't been sold. So now because of this, there's this fiery debate all over the internet, and all of the people that are criticizing Meghan are saying, look, this is proof that she is sitting on a bunch of unsold stock, and all of this blustering and gaslighting and lying that she was doing over the course of 2025, trying to tell us all that she's such an entrepreneur and that she's such a businesswoman and everything is so, fine and dandy and wonderful and everything is just exploding over in the world of as never. Based on these figures that people are showing, it's probably not true. The business isn't taking off the way that Meghan wanted. It isn't the resounding success that her PR machine has been trying to plug to us for the last year. And what a lot of people are scratching their heads over is that if you can inadvertently, via this website glitch, find out how much they still have in unsold stock, like what else has she been lying about? And just the fact that that website glitch existed in the first place leaves everyone scratching their heads. What is going on here? Is she's just a 44-year-old mom with a laptop who made her own, Shopify account? What is happening? Does she have anyone behind the scenes that is helping her work this business out to the point where it at least appears professional? Apparently not. So apparently it took a little over 24 hours, but apparently the website glitch has been fixed now. So now if someone wanted to be a little bit snarky and go back and do what those two original users did and try to put a huge amount of product in their basket, they wouldn't be able to. They're met with a little prompt that says, hey, you can't order that much. That's the maximum quantity. Or, oh, hey, it looks like you want to do bulk orders, contact customer service. So that glitch has been fixed, but now we all know what's happening. And this is why I'm so stinking annoyed, because this woman cannot remain silent for anything. She cannot let anything go.
Oh, really? That feels odd to me.
So when I say I'm annoyed in the sense that I just don't really see this woman course correcting anytime soon. And it's really a chance for us to just stop and say, this is how we don't want to act in our own lives. And I see her acting like this incessant need she has to clap back and to defend herself and to get angry, because she's angry behind the scenes. But we all know that her staff is quitting left and right. Her head of PR, that Meredith Maines lady, she's out. James Holt, the guy that's been with them for almost 10 years, he's out. He's back to the UK. I don't really think they have too many people in their employ. So now it's making people say even more and more, this clapback that we're seeing now from her sources, it's her. It's got to be her. And I have an article here by Jack Royston in Newsweek, okay? And he used to be a guy that was really, in my opinion, pro Harry Meghan. He always would write articles in Newsweek that would really defend and deflect criticism that they were receiving. And now he's saying Meghan Markle's website accidentally reveals her sensitive data. Meghan Markle's As Ever online shop has revealed data for how much stock she has through a weakness in the website's design. And she appears to be sitting on about $2.18 million worth of product. And it goes on. And he's saying that the online critics, they could spot and determine how much stock she had, given that, the fact that they were adding hundreds of thousands of products to the online basket. And that's how they came up with that $21.8 million figure. And he's saying here, and the figures add up to $21.8 million at sale price, not cost, for 650,190 products. Her costs will, of course, have been lower, as a sale price is intended to include profit. The haul includes more than 80,000 tubs of edible flower sprinkles, the 90,000 candles that we talked about and all that. But when you go further in the article, it talks about why it matters, because that's the way Newsweek breaks down their articles. It's almost like they're breaking it down as if you're a toddler saying, I'm going to show you some facts and this is why it matters. And I always get annoyed when I read articles like this. I'm like, don't tell me what matters, okay? Let me read and ascertain for myself what matters in an article. Thanks, Jack. But anyway, I'm so feisty right now. The As Ever lifestyle shop was initially hampered by a stock shortage, leading to product drops selling out in minutes and little opportunity for her to gauge the most popular items. items. Well, that's what she told us, right? She told us that things were selling out so fast and she was just in this quagmire of, oh, what do I do? And yes, it's a blessing, but then I can't gauge, based on what they're buying, what I need to do, what I need to stock. Well, maybe if you would have done some market research prior to starting this business, you would have had a better grasp on what's the touch point on your customer base. What do they want from you? I don't think she did any type of research into this company.
Oh, really?
I think personally, in my personal opinion, she saw what Charles does with his high growth stuff and figures, yeah, I can get on that gravy train too because I'm royal. I'm a Dutch ass, so I can do it too.
I hadn't heard that.
But I mean, there's not really a market for that. And especially wouldn't be a market for that in the UK for her, because anyone in the UK would probably rather get their jams and jellies and spreads from the king versus this fool. So here in America, who would want that? Like, what is the market? How is she finding out information? Did she do any type of testing? No, she didn't. I can almost guarantee she didn't. That's my opinion. And the article goes on. It's like, what to know? Over the course of 2025, Meghan fixed her supply side issues, massively increasing her inventory, and has not suffered from the same problem since August. So yeah, she's not selling out like she was alleging. But then again, the clapback from all of her critics was, okay, you're selling out, but why don't you give us some metrics? How many did you sell? She was not revealing that in the spring or going into summer, especially when she was giving interviews, when she was on that Emma Grede podcast, when she was on the Time 100 stage, she was being interviewed for that Bloomberg interview. She never gave us any type of concrete sales figures. And a lot of companies don't go too into the weeds about it, but she didn't reveal anything, not one thing. And to me, I find that particularly unsettling given the fact that that was her whole shtick last summer was, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a female entrepreneur, I'm a businesswoman, I'm going to put out this podcast that is going to tell how you too can become a female entrepreneur. Well, then you've got to release more hard concrete figures and just evidence as to what you've done. She hasn't done that. This Newsweek article is what a lot of other articles like in the Daily Mail, the Daily Express are quoting from. It's exceeded everybody's expectations in terms of how well it's gone. I would say across the holiday period. That period has been incredibly successful. That sentence is worded weird. And as soon as I read that first sentence, and it's weird every time I read it, I think she wrote that. Meghan wrote this. I'm going to read this to you and tell me, did Meghan not write this? She so wrote this. Anytime you see the word narrative, and she always talks about how all the talk about her and Harry out there in the public domain, the public discourse is a critical, unflattering, destructive, lying narrative. It's always a narrative about her. And she even said that in the Bloomberg interview that, we're all creating this negative persona of her and that's what we're talking about, but it's not really her.
It's not me that they're talking about. It's some caricature they've had to create to get clicks. It's not me that they're talking about to get clicks.
I don't understand where she gets off talking like that because we're not making anything up. We're going by what she says, what she does, and what she doesn't say and what she doesn't do. That's how we're gleaning all of the information and developing all of our opinions about this woman and her so-called successful business. But okay, I know I'm babbling. I'm sorry. I'm just worked up. So I'm going to read this and you tell me if this is not Meghan verbatim. Her late night on her laptop, type it away, her response. It says, people are attempting to paint a negative narrative and are choosing how they present things, choosing how they share information to fit a particular narrative, to perpetuate certain negative storylines. And this is just another example of how people have to be really discerning with the way that they not only consume media, but the way that they interpret data and facts that are shared with them, because they don't often present the whole picture, end quote. So that was sources, Meghan, clapping back about all this scrutiny that's been going on the last few days regarding this leaked info, this website glitch showing how much inventory, 21.8 million that she's sitting on. So this is her clapback to that. And I read this and I have to say, this is what I don't want to do in my own life. This is what I absolutely cannot stand about these narcissists. And you really do think that everyone does this to a certain extent? Although she this is the code she lives by, but I look at how she's clapping back and I see the way that she's still trying to deflect and gaslight people to say, oh, nothing to see here. You see things, but you're not really seeing things. You're interpreting it wrong. Let me tell you how you should be interpreting it. And this is what she does. Do you remember how when she even launched As Ever, and I talk about this in volume 2 when I was talking about her 2025, she came out on that kind of, impossibly fresh spur of the moment Instagram reel where she was telling us, I'm going to tell you about As Ever. And I had secured this name back in 2022 and now I can share it with you. And if you had been following the story, anyone with logic or a brain would say, wait a minute, if it was supposed to be As Ever from the get-go in 2022, like you said in that video, then what was this American Riviera Orchard? Oh, I hate that name. I always fumble over it. What was this American Riviera Orchard crap about? Why was that even in the mix if you had secured this As Ever thing back in 2022? So these are things that people can read and look and see holes in, like, her narrative, in her arguments. We see holes and half-truths and gaslighting, and we're like, none of this is adding up or making sense. So that's why I'm so unbelievably annoyed, because it's like this year hasn't even started, you guys. It hasn't even started, and she cannot help herself. She is compelled to clap back and say, wait a minute, you're still wrong about me, and let me tell you why you're wrong about me. And her telling us that we're wrong about her is just that. She just says, you're wrong about me. But she's not telling us why we're wrong. She thinks we are so unbelievably stupid. And all she does is say, well, if you believe the negative narrative that's out there, then you're a hateful, mean, rotten person. You're not someone that's nice. You're not someone that's just giving me the benefit of the doubt. But it's like, why is she under such a microscope? Why do you have users like Infinite Sky 55 and Kiki Love 777 out there doing this? You have people like them out there doing this because they are tired of being lied to and they're tired of being gaslit, and they are onto this woman, and people are fed up because her and Harry, in my personal opinion, have been lying and gaslighting the public for going on 6 whole years now. I mean, officially from when they left the royal family, Megxit, in January 2020, they were up to no good in the 2 years prior, in my opinion, but formally and officially been lying and gaslighting the public for 6 whole years now, okay? And when you are continuously lied to, you get ticked off and you are almost searching for proof that you are being gaslit, that you are being lied to. That's why people are out there doing this. You do not see people going out and attacking, Kim Kardashian's business like this. You don't see people go out there attacking Hailey Bieber like this, or any of these other, gals like Selena Gomez that has her business, or Ariana Grande who has her perfumes. Like, you don't see people doing this to these other people because those other people, even though they're kind of annoying in their own right, they do what they do, like them, don't like them, and they go out and they have a company, they have a business, and they market. They do it in a way where they're like, this is who I am, this is what I'm about, buy my stuff, and that's it. But she has done so much shape shifting over the last 6 years. She is, a royal duchess. She's a humanitarian. She's a philanthropist. She's a cooking lifestyle guru. She's visiting these countries. She's going to Paris during Paris Fashion Week looking like a ghoul, supporting a brand that was under fire for really disgusting advertising imagery involving children. I mean, she's always doing the little smoke and mirrors business with her kids. And now she's dragging her kids into this whole philanthropy charity model that she's got going on. Her and Harry have essentially abandoned the foundation model, and now they're having this charity sponsorship model where this company's just going to take over it. And now it's called Archwell Philanthropies. And now they don't have to have their hand in it as much. And in my opinion, they're doing that because they don't want the financial scrutiny. They don't want to be under the lens that they are, because people are saying, why are you taking in less than what you're spending? That's going on with this so-called foundation. It wasn't so much a charitable endeavor. It was a way for them to build what they thought in their mind was going to be legacy and what was going to be wealth. So now we've got this woman clapping back like this because she's compelled, because she cannot help herself. And it's just so stinking annoying. And you know what I like to do in my videos? I like to look at her behavior and I like to think, what can we do to make ourselves better people by watching this play out? And I know in my own life that when I double down on something, like say if I'm in an argument with my husband or something and I'm doubling down on something when I know that, I'm probably not completely in the right and I'm kind of just probably pissed off at him and like, oh, he's saying that this and this and this and I don't want to hear it. You know how it is. Like, and you double down, but then you're like, look, you just have to back off and be like, what? When you're right, you're right. I'm sorry. When you continue to clap back and deflect, when you know you're in the wrong, when you know you're being called out, this is going to be her downfall. And she had so much negative press at the end of last year, particularly with the fact that she still ghosted her dad. Her dad had half of his leg cut off. And all she did was write him a letter. And then she tried to gaslight the whole public by telling us that, for a week, she couldn't find where he was, right? Like, where do you think he was, Meghan? At the North Pole with Santa? Like, he was in a freaking hospital in the Philippines. It's not that hard to get a hold of the guy. And plus she knew that there was a reporter at his freaking bedside, Caroline Grant, practically the entire time. But she's gonna, tell us that it was so impossible to find him. She was scared to communicate and speak out because it was gonna just turn into this like he said, she said, and because she's so concerned about maintaining the facade and this image. She has to make sure. And do you remember in that Bloomberg interview when she was talking to that Emily Chung gal, and Emily asked her, how much, I don't remember the exact question, but Emily said something to the effect of, how important is it how you're perceived, your legacy, your voice, how important is that? And Meghan was like, it's everything. It's everything.
How important is it to own your own story?
It's the most important thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you own your own story?
I know I do.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. What we think of you is none of your business, Meghan. Who gives a crap? Stop trying to pose and posture and show us what a wonderful human being you are. We don't care. And you shouldn't care either. You need to get right with your family, your husband, his family, and your own soul. Stop lying to us. Stop getting on your freaking laptop at 2 a.m, typing out this garbage. And how many times did she say narrative in that thing to Jack Royston? I don't know. It's so completely ridiculous. And another thing about that Bloomberg interview that I remembered, because do you remember what she told Emily Chung? And I have the quote pulled up here where she said something like, the business was so successful when she was selling out so quickly in the initial launches that she said that the whole mindset shift about how much they wanted to order in the company, how many SKUs, remember she was always talking about SKUs. She was saying that the talk went from deciding to have small orders of a few thousand units to purchase orders of 1 million. And even at that time, everyone was like, really? Really? You're going to order 1 million? But now, in my personal opinion, since she's told that big fat lie back in August, that's what she's using now to justify this whole website glitch thing, because she can say, well, I ordered that many, I ordered 1 million, and that's just what's left now. That's proof that I've sold so much. So for example, if I have 90,000 candles left, well, I ordered a lot of candles. I ordered a lot of spread. I ordered a lot of everything. And that just shows how successful I've been. We're like, no, nobody is buying it. This thing has been fumbled and bumbled, and we have felt that we've been lied to and gaslit where this company is concerned from the get-go. From the very first moment when you said that you were going to have a company, it was supposed to be American Riviera Orchard. And then we all knew what happened. It was trademark difficulties. It was filing errors, missed deadlines, all that stuff. And she never even acknowledged that.
Oh, really? That feels odd to me. I hadn't heard that.
So when you don't acknowledge when you screw up, and you don't acknowledge screw ups over and over and over like the way this woman in Herald does, this is why no one in the public trusts her. This is why you have users like Kiki Love and Infinite Sky going out there and deliberately trying to prove to themselves and the world that we're not crazy. And now there are reports that she's gonna have, I guess, a cookbook launched sometime in 2020. A cookbook. cookbook. What are the recipes going to be, Meghan? Are they going to be how to rebag pretzels? Are they going to be how to arrange a crudité platter? Are you going to cop Martha Stewart's one-pot pasta recipe? What exactly are you going to put in a cookbook? People were roasting her alive for her lack of culinary skills on Netflix. I remember when I was talking about her with Love Meghan series and I was looking and doing screenshots of the way this woman was holding a knife. She doesn't even know how to hold a knife properly. I learned how to hold a knife properly back in 2011, the year after I got married, watching Julia Child DVDs. You don't know what you know until you go to try to find out what you don't know. But she's so arrogant that she's going to put out a cookbook and a series, but she doesn't even know how to hold a knife. And if you are going to do a cookbook, you should have done a cookbook at the onset, because we all know her highest viewership for her show with Love Meghan was the first season. And that's another thing, trying to gaslight the public to say that the first season was so successful that that's why Netflix greenlit a second season. But we all know it was all filmed at the same time. Netflix vomited the second half, which they then marketed as season 2 because they wanted to get rid of it. They wanted to get rid of their stock, so to speak, right? So it's like if she would have done the cookbook at the very, very beginning of when she launched that show back in March 25, that would have been the time to do it. Who knows where she would have sold it, though? Netflix didn't pick up any of her products for the 2 freestanding stores that they have. I know one's in Dallas, and I forget where the other one is, but point being, where would it have been sold? What is going on here? A cookbook? Okay. And then now in 2026, I'm going to keep a close watch on what's going on with this whole Harry security thing, because we all know what the court case results were back in May 25. He was told that no, you are not eligible for full-time royal protection. You are no longer a full-time working member of the family. You don't reside in the UK. You live in California. You need to cut the crap. He lost his bid for full-time automatic royal protection when he's in the UK, and he got ticked off. So what did he do this past fall? He wrote to the Homeland Secretary in the UK, this Mahmood lady. He wrote to her privately to ask for another risk assessment because he didn't get what he wanted trying to fight it in the courts, which is beyond annoying and has angered so many people, because that would not be a privilege afforded to anybody else. But again, this guy is so deluded and is so stinking full of himself that he thinks that he is just God's gift. And because of who he is by his birthright, that he has every right, even though he lost the court case in His Majesty's government court, his father's courts. He lost that bid. So now he's going to privately write to the UK Home Secretary, what is her name? Shabana Mahmood. And he wants another full risk assessment done by Ravik. Why? Because he went to the Well Child Awards in September, and then he says that he has a stalker. And because of that one stalker, all these people on these different continents, when he goes around, needs to pay for this buffoon. I mean, give me a break. Ravik already knows what they're doing, and they've already said he's not a full-time working member. He's not working for the family in a royal capacity. He doesn't need it. And he still would have it on a case-by-case basis. He would have it if he gives them 28 days notice whenever he wants to go over to the UK. But now all these people are whispering and grumbling and saying, well, just the fact that she okayed another full risk, a fresh risk assessment, it's probably because in light of situations that are going on behind the scenes that we are not yet privy to. And so many people are saying he's trying to get a bid to come back to become a working member of the family. And he's probably working behind the scenes with Charles, and he's probably working behind the scenes with this review committee, and he's working with this Mahmood lady to get his status back. And in his mind, once he gets it back, he can come and go as he pleases on the UK taxpayer dime. And I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know who's advising him. Why would he do that? All it's going to do is raise the ire of the UK public, who already can't stand him, who already view him as a traitor to his father, his grandmother, his country, and now his brother, who's going to be the king, a traitor to all of them. What does he think he's doing? I don't know, but I'm just so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. And that's why I wanted to turn on the camera and talk to you guys. I want to know what you think about all of this. But again, I'm going to be watching this story because I tell you, if this fool gets full-time armed protection automatically every single time he goes to the UK, there are going to be a lot of really ticked off people all around. And part of me is like, okay, if he does get this, if this little petulant brat of a ginger balding man gets what he wants, the public backlash is going to be swift and it's going to be fierce. And maybe then, like what Charles had to do with Andrew, maybe then the public pressure will be so loud and deafening that William will go to his father and say, look, is this the legacy you want to leave me? All of this backlash against this man-child, this petulant clown man-child? Strip the titles already. Take the Duke and Duchess title away from these two clowns and take Prince and Princess away from their kids. And you know, I feel bad for the kids in this sense because they are innocents in all of this, but then again, there's so much controversy surrounding these kids as well. It's like, that's why people don't believe anything they say. Why would we believe that Meghan's As Ever company is a rousing success if she can't even produce birth certificates for her children and announce their births in the way that George and Louis and Charlotte were? Why is everything so smoke and mirrors and clouded in mystery and all this like weirdness? It's just, this is why we don't trust these idiots. If the titles were stripped, all of this would go away. He's basically saying that because of who he is, that's why he needs the protection. Well, who he is right now is a person who shouldn't be in the line of succession, but he is. So if you take him out of the line of succession, then all of this can go away. And that's what I'm hoping and praying for 2026. I know a lot of you guys are out there too. Are you as fired up as I am about this whole deal? But as fired up as I am about the fact that she doesn't seem to learn, that she is compelled to clap back and deflect and continuing to gaslight us, it's like she's just digging herself deeper and deeper and deeper into a hole that she is not going to find her way out of.
You feel like you own your own story?
I know I do. Mm-hmm. And if you know me, you know that I do. You feel as though a story is being told about some caricature of you that actually has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. And that can be some caricature of you that actually has nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. And that can be...
She's apparently not learned a damn thing from 2025, and I'm still editing those videos. I mean, there's so much garbage that these two produced in 25, and now to know that she's still on the same merry-go-round. She's still doing it, and so is her husband. I hope these two really have their come to Jesus moment this year, and they won't get that moment of their own volition. It's gonna have to be thrust on them, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, so I'm going to go back to editing my worst of 2025 videos. I am currently editing 2 more videos from my Errol Flynn Slept Here series. So if you're a fan of that one, please thank you for being patient with me. I have 2 more episodes coming. Like the video if you haven't. Share the video if you think someone you know would like it. Subscribe if you haven't. Half of my viewers aren't subscribed. My goal in 2026 is to get my subscriber count to at least 50 or 60K. If you haven't subscribed, it's free. It's super easy and simple for you to do, and it gets me a little bit closer to my goal. But yeah, that's all I got for you right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.
It's not me that they're talking about. It's some caricature they've had to create to get clicks. Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.